What's going on, guys? This is Bucky from Bucky Be Gaming. I have a video for you guys today of some of my builds before the 1.0 release of Palworld. Some of them finished, some of them partially finished. Let me know down in the comments if there is any ones you guys would like me to finish, and I will finish them and post new videos for you guys. Thank you. Okay, so here we're going to start out at the first part of the town that I did here. It's probably a chain of 6 or 7 bases together. So we'll start at the first part of it and kind of just go through it. It's kind of Japanese inspired a little bit. These bases were actually done pretty early on, before the update for painting and stuff like that was a thing. So this pretty much doesn't have any painting or anything on any of these bases. I mean, I probably should go back and touch them up. Just have to let me know in the comments if that's something you guys want, is for me to go back and touch up these bases or finish the ones that aren't finished. And between all these bases, I'm pretty sure, I can pretty much do everything. I don't really have like an all-in-one kind of type of base or anything like that. I like to spread my bases out through the different like towns that I like to build and things like that. But I figured this one was pretty cool looking. So this was like my first start of it, and then we'll go to the second part that I created of the base, which is more of like a mining area and things like that. So I have my pals and stuff doing some mining, cooking over there on that side, some more mining, and then I have like a little kitchen area over here for more cooking. Then of course, little bathhouse that they have over here. I have my underground little gold spot kind of hidden, so nobody knows that I'm cheating and crafting gold, you know what I mean? Then just a little house, nothing crazy to this, just some spot for storage, a little bit of decoration stuff, nothing crazy on this one. So then we will move up to the third part of the build that I did. Right on up these stairs. And we have like a little castle that I did and things like that. Different little stuff outside. Nothing crazy on the outside decorations though. Just a little mini little greenhouse. Some plantations. And then we have like on the first floor we have library, and I have a lot of the humans that I caught working in here. So with the library here, little bar or whatever there, and then like a little fine dining area with the piano, then another bathhouse for them, and an eating area, and then we have the throne room up top. So you got like a little prayer spot over there, and then the throne room with the little restrooms, of course. Probably do like a mega castle one day, but this is kind of just like a mini version of a castle, you could say. Let's see. And then we would go on to the fourth spot that I built. It's kind of like a fisherman's town, basically, in a way that I tried to do. I got inspired with the little fishing ponds that they added on that one update, so I was like, we'll do a fisherman's town. So I got like a whole bunch of fishing spots up here. And then, of course, you got like a little bait shop you can go to get bait. Another fishing spot. And then we have like a little restaurant up top that I did up. Kind of like, this kind of reminds me of like a vacation spot, basically. And then little hotel that you have up there and stuff. Outside bath. So then the next part, we're gonna hop on Fangalope here and go to the next part, which is kind of like a futuristic type thing, hybrid. I kind of did like my own little cool skating ring up here, or ice skating up top. I kind of liked it. It was pretty cool with the soccer goals there. And then a little bathhouse. And then we have, of course, the Outer Space Pals. I put in a spot right there. Looks pretty cool. Definitely at nighttime, it looks awesome. Then we have like a little mini laboratory here. With the machines. I got the PAL dismember machine and things like that. Kind of makes it look a little futuristic. And of course, you know, you got all your good working spots, your assembly lines and things like that. Then I got some PAL genetic, you know, fruit skill trees. And then up top of all that is the shop. Kind of did a thing where I was going to sell my skill fruit trees and things like that. So that is the fourth spot. So let's hop on Fangalope again, because my roadways are pretty long sometimes, leading to my bases and things like that. So then we have the next spot, which is kind of like a mixture. We have some mining stuff and things I did. This base I didn't spend a crap ton of time on. Kind of did it pretty quick. But we have like a little thing for like a line to sign up to see the aquarium and things like that. So you come here down the line, you check in, go through. And then you can sell stuff back here. Let's see. And then we have the another spot right here where you can buy your tickets. And I saw this, I think it was DPJ on YouTube that I saw this off of, maybe. They did like an aquarium for pals. I thought it looks pretty cool, so I tried to do my own little version of it, and like it makes it kind of look like the pals are swimming in there. I thought it was pretty cool looking. And that's pretty much all to this base. There was nothing crazy on this one. So then we go to the next one, which is technically like, you can call it like a Hogsmeade kind of town, because at the top up there is, I have a partial base of a Hogwarts. So we'll get to that after this one. But so you have a Hogsmeade kind of thing. I kind of did the sign to where it was like, had to interlock them to even spell out the Hogsmeade. I hope they bring something kind of cool with base buildings where we can actually like type the full thing and not have to do that. Of course, you got your little houses and things like that. And then you got the, you know, the little bar. Get your butter beer and whatnot. And then here's a partially worked Ollivanders, where you get your wands at in Harry Potter. Kind of partial. Didn't really finish it though. Then we have just a little bathhouse up here. Nothing crazy. You know, experimentation place. Then we have the cemetery that I made from Harry Potter. The little graves. Thought it was kind of cool. And then we have a little sleeping area right here. Then we have a little eating spot with some TVs that I put up on the walls. Got that from Vilestride on YouTube. Another really good base builder. And then we have to make our way up this long set of stairs and pathway here to get to the Hogwarts. Go all the way up here. And yes, this did take a lot of time to build this. So then we get up to here, and this, like I said, this is partially finished. I was thinking of like doing a train station that way kind of deal. Right here was going to be like a Dumbledore's little room over here. I was probably going to do in that little part of the tower. But here we'll go to the spot where everybody, the eating hall in Harry Potter. I kind of did my own little thing with it. And the flags represent, you know, each house, basically, of Harry Potter. So you would eat in each section, basically. So, of course, Gryffindor would be all the way down this way. This is where they would eat at. Then kind of like Dumbledore's seat in the back. And then this, you know, where he would sit up here and talk. And then the teachers' eating spots back here. So then we would go to kind of like just the outside. I did like for plants and things like that, but I did like herbology and stuff like that. So we had to just have some plant stuff back there and some skill fruit trees and things. And then I used the PAL exploration station. That's kind of like a chamber of secrets kind of thing. I kind of lost track on what I exactly wanted to do with that, so I kind of just left it there. And then, of course, you know, you have your house flags and things to separate. Thought that was pretty cool decoration-wise. So then we got some classrooms up here. So we have dark arts. And I use the Japanese lanterns as kind of like a floating candle kind of thing, you know. Try to make it more magical in a way. Okay, and then we have potions. I use the medicine tables. It's kind of like the tables that you would sit at, each student's little desk with the books and potion bottles and things on top of it. And then the big potion cauldrons that everybody can mess with. That's pretty much it on the Harry Potter. I kind of got bored and went on to another world and started building again and never really came back to do this one. So yeah, just leave a like and message down in the comments if it's something you guys would like to see finished, and I'll definitely finish it up. Okay, and so next we have a base that I did, well, multiple bases, kind of like another town thing, that I did a while ago. This one was built in Sakajima. Kind of like a hotel kind of thing at this first part. So down here, you know, you have some mining production, some oil production, assembly line, things like that I was doing. Then this is probably like my coolest part about it, I feel like, is the walkway that I have here. I think it's pretty awesome. Save some of the Sakajima trees and things like that. Then of course another little fountain thing. And then we go into the hotel. And then, you know, you have like a little kitchen area, a little sit down eating area. Here, right here, you check in. Then, you know, a little sleeping area for the pals. Then another little bathhouse for them. And a toilet, of course. Then we go up. Another little sleeping area for pals. Another little spot for them to hang out. Things like that. Then we have our rooms. Like hotel rooms, basically. Pretty basic. Nothing crazy going on. Little bathroom. Then we have a little shop downstairs. And then across, we have like a little church, if you want to call it. Pretty cool. Made like a little stand, you know, up there. A little platform. And then as we go to the next part of the town, the next base, in between it, we have like a little hangout spot separating these two bases. Little bar and grill per se. And here's the next base, mainly just a little bit of farming production, a little bit of ranch, a little bit of breeding. Nothing crazy going on here, just decorative stuff basically. And then another little walkway. This one is a partially finished base. This was like one of the last parts that I did, and I kind of got bored on this one and gave up. Might come back and finish this stuff one day, because I really do like the Sakajima area. It's a really cool area to build at. Alright, so then the next spot is kind of a production area, more just decoration stuff going on. Some assembly lines. Couple little buildings. Hangout spots, basically eating area. I think it's just really beautiful up here. I could probably build in Sakajima. Like every time I build, I could probably build here easily. I think it's kind of cool with the waterfall coming down, like in between the town, basically. Then we go back down to the first part of the town, basically, and we will work our way up to the last part of this base, which is like another just big Japanese style, but up here I mostly put like the nighttime glowy pals and stuff up here, with a whole bunch of lights and things like that. I feel like it looks really good at nighttime. So we're gonna wait till nighttime and then we're gonna head up. And boom! With the power of editing, it's pretty much nighttime, so we'll go ahead and start walking up. So of course you have a line to be able to get up here. You gotta check in. Little security checkpoint. And then the walkways. I think the walkways look amazing with the little Japanese lanterns. I really just like the aesthetic of this. I think it's really cool. Little kitchen areas, of course. And, you know, my water fountains. If you notice through a lot of my builds, I have little signature water fountains all through it. Little sleeping area for the pals. Telling you, as long as you just don't let your pals chop the trees down around here, you can put anything here and it'll probably look good. And of course, we got the building. Pretty cool. You got your little back area to chill at right beside the waterfall that goes down to the other part of the town. Nothing crazy upstairs, to be honest. Just a little walkways to be able to get up here up top. this one is the last part of this world. The giant tree in the back. Looks amazing. And we are on to the next set of builds. So this next one is a couple of partial bases that I need to finish. I figure I'd just throw them in here and show them off a little bit. I like the outer design. I just need to add a lot of interior work on this. But it's kind of like on the beach line. Kind of looks like a little island, little getaway type spot. I feel like I could definitely turn this into something really nice, a nice little retreat getaway area. Mainly just have like the bar area done with the eating spots and things like that. Nothing crazy. But I feel like I can definitely turn this into something nice. Let me know down in the comments if you guys think I should finish this. And a little thing I was working on in the back, not quite finished either. So here's another world with some bases that I have on it. Mostly partially finished. Some bases are pretty fully finished, but not fully decorated. We'll probably go ahead and wait for daytime here, and then we'll go through the bases real quick. And once again, with the power of editing, it is daytime. Let's do a little rundown. So you just basically got outer shells of things, nothing crazy in these. Building that can be decorated. Little egg hatching area under there, looks pretty cool. Little bar area. And of course, you know, I have my streetways that go to each building, pretty much. All these trees I gotta chop down. So then just a different modification on the building, a little mix with some stone, wood, and Japanese. That was pretty cool texture to it. A little planting. And then we go to the next base, which is another little fishing spot, basically. Things like that. Then we got some more pathways connecting some things that we were going to finish and didn't. I did finish this one down here, though. Cool little town. And as you can see, I kind of love the Japanese style buildings. I definitely think it's probably the coolest thing that this game's added for building for me, at least. I'm a pretty big fan. Nope, something made my pals mad. Oof. Sucks to be them. So then we have a pathway for some more bases that I was going to work on, but just decided to put some mining areas down. And we keep going. I gotta get all these trees out of my way. Another base to work on. Then we have kind of like a mega base thing that I was going to be working on. Of course, never really finished it because I start too many worlds and build new stuff on. So, but nice big open area I can really do pretty much anything with. Got multiple floors to it. I could pretty much go crazy with this one if I wanted to. And then it ends. Oh, this is where we came through at. So actually we'll go down the stairs to the front part of it. So we go down. And then we exit out here. And we go probably to my best build on this world, I would say. Kind of like a futuristic type deal. It was kind of like a take on a different version of a Tony Stark tower is what I was planning on doing, and then it kind of turned into this. So, and this is like only half finished at that too as well. So of course, you know, you got your streets underneath the big building. Little different decoration items in this one. Nothing crazy. I definitely could have did a lot more. If I could stick to one world, I'd probably be good and have some crazy builds, but I kind of keep making too many worlds, too many playthroughs. So then we go up the stairs. Of course, some more PAL pods. Some assembly lines up here, basically. But then, probably the coolest part about this build, though, I mean, besides the way it looks, I think it looks awesome, is the wind currents. I kind of built it into the base. It kind of gave it the ability, you know, to like launch out of here if you wanted to. I thought that was pretty cool. And, you know, I think the decoration of it is pretty amazing. This is one I definitely probably will come back and finish someday. I think it's pretty awesome. Alright, and then let's go to another base build. So here's a little base I did just for basically oil production. Because, you know, sometimes in really cool areas you like to build, they don't have oil production. So I kind of have to do this base separate from my normal go-to towns that I like to build. So this is kind of a little separated. So we'll just go ahead and go through it real quick. Nothing crazy. Got some electrical production in the back. Of course, you know, you got some oil being produced. Little bathhouse. Little PAL beds, things like that. And as you can see, I kind of really like building in the snow. I don't know why. Soccer Dream or the snow is like my two go-tos. Then we have a little house. Not decorated really, though. Might have did like a little bit of an upstairs thing, but nothing crazy. Yeah, just a little bedroom, little bathroom. Nothing much there. Then we have a little outside area for cooking. A little bath for them. Then we go check out, see if some of our other bases look any good on here. Can't really remember, so we're just gonna test the waters and find out. Okay, here's another one. Kind of plain Jane, but kind of cool at the same time. So up here basically is just, you know, beds and then a little bit of production stuff over there. I think this was the first base that I built in this world. This one's pretty cool as far as like the little different textures that I put into this. And then they have their little bath in between. A little bit of furnace production type stuff. A little bit of a greenhouse kind of thing. Not very organized, kind of just threw it together in here. Then of course, first when you come to the town, you have your little item shop, things like that. Let's see. And then in between the bases, I have a another little restaurant type deal. Cool little view, you know, out here eating, just don't fall off the ledge. Of course, your little restrooms. Then we have like a top area that you can eat at, things like that. Still just gotta put some more decoration stuff in there. Alright, and then next base we have is this way. And then over here, just a spot for the pals to sleep, basically. Nothing crazy. And then up here, we just got some assembly lines and things like that. And then I did my little gold assembly line, so nobody knows what I'm doing over here. Then I have another base here in the back. More for just production and things like that. I was trying to line with the broken down cathedral there, but you can't really get too close. It doesn't really allow you to do that. I think I might have one more on this world built. Let's go take a look here. That's not on that side. Let's go this way. So back over here. I believe if we go down this way, yep, I got one more little base down here. Once again, kind of not fully done. Moved on to another world after this and kind of just stopped decorating it. Little eating spot. Spot for pals to sleep. And then I was going to do like different rooms up here, but I never, like I said, got to it. Pretty sure that was pretty much it on this world. So we'll go ahead and go to the next world and see what we got going on. Okay, so then we got this one, kind of a partial thing again. I just kind of like the design of this one. So we'll just run through this real quick. So this was the main spot that I started with. A little bit of production stuff inside, nothing crazy. So then we go upstairs. Little room with some storage and things like that. And then over here, I was kind of trying to do like my take on a Pokemon Center. Didn't really turn out the way I wanted it to. So I kind of just gave up and left it how it was. Just some more breeding and ranch production over here, things like that. Then I have a little greenhouse over here I thought was pretty cool looking that I did. Feel like it's pretty cool. Pretty symmetrical. Everything's pretty even. Put a little water fountain in there. I just don't have it unlocked yet on this world. And then we'll go to another one that I think I only have like one real good base on the next world, so we'll go check it out. So yeah, on this world, pretty much only have one good base build on this one. So we'll go ahead and show that off, and then we'll get to some bases of the most recent playthrough that I did. Got a cool little entryway here that I did for this. Kind of like just a little island that I kind of took over. Did like the stone, natural stone, kind of with like the up the walkway type thing. Pretty good build. Kind of like the way you can do these the walls with the Japanese sliding doors. Them course, got a little sleep area, things like that. Another little production area. Some planting. Then we go this way. Little skill fruit tree, and then I kind of tried to do my take on a water wheel this way. I don't think it turned out the greatest, but you know, the attempt is what matters. You know what I mean? So then we go back up here. Of course, you know, you have some spots, some bath spots, a production line, things like that. And then we go down. And we go this way. And we have like a cool little outside eating area. I tried to do my like version of a hot pot. So I got the cook things on the tables there. And that was pretty much the only build on this world that was kind of worth anything. Alright, so then we'll go to the final set of builds I have for the newest playthrough that I did right before the 1.0 release update. Okay, so here is the first part of my bases that I did on this world. I did a 100-day series where I had to beat all the towers in 100 days with kind of medium difficulty settings. It was kind of just to get back into the game really good before the 1.0 release. So we start, you know, we have a greenhouse again, of course. Kind of like my plantation stuff to be in greenhouses. Then we have just a little fishing area down here. Then we have kind of like another bar and grill thing. Kind of did like the TVs up on the walls and things like that. And area for cooking and smelting. And then nice little dining area with, you know, Cativa. You order drinks from Cativa and things like that. So then the next spot is we have probably like my different twist and take on a little bathhouse. So it's kind of the first time I did something different like this. So it's like a building and then just kind of like little small roofs to keep the heat and stuff trapped in for these baths. Thought that was pretty cool how I did that. Haven't really seen that done before like that way. Then of course up here just some beds and some storage area with some working tables and things like that. And then we go down the walkway because you know I connect all my bases. And then this is probably one of the better ones that I've done, like kind of like a farm, you know, basically just ranches and things like that I have here. Ranches inside the little barn houses and things like that. And then I haven't seen anybody do this. This is kind of like different. I had the platform like perfectly raised to where I could put skill fruit trees on top of something, and it kind of makes it look like it's just like right in the dirt right there, because it doesn't look exact. You know, you can see the wood trim on the outside of this, so I kind of tried to hide it as best as I could. Thought that was cool and unique. I haven't seen anybody do anything like that. And of course, just some more decoration stuff. Cool little walkway. Then another little bathhouse for the pals. Then you have like a little bedroom spot up here that's kind of overlooking the whole thing pretty much. That was pretty cool. Then a little breeding farm right there. More ranches. And the way I did the wheat, I stuck the wheat and like made it to where they don't grab it, because I wanted it to give that farm look. So I kept the wheat, you know, kind of fully grown so they don't harvest it. Gives a nice little texture to it. Then some more skill fruit trees underneath. And a little mill, of course. Then we have the third part of our little town that we did here. Coming to town, of course, you can buy items and things like that. Then we have like a little bathhouse and stuff again for the pals with a little resting area. You can come and sit down and relax. And a pretty cool little eating area that I did. Kind of another little tourist town kind of look and feel, I feel like. And this is kind of where the assembly stuff is and things like that. So I added the PAL condenser kind of like behind glass with some electric stuff to kind of make it look like a factory type theme. And medicine production. Of course, all our assembly lines. It's another sleep area for the pals. That. All the pals are knocked out. Little mining area, nothing crazy. I think we are going to make it be daytime. And boom, we're daytime. So then the last spot of this little town that I did, since the World Cup was going on at this time that I was doing this, I decided to do like a little soccer field. I feel like it turned out pretty good. I was trying to put the training dummies down, but they would not allow me to do that, of course, so I had to go with Cativa goalies. And then, you know, you got your bench spot over here, if you're not cool enough to get into the game, I guess. So, other than that, and then we'll go to the last spot, which is probably the best spot of this world that I've built so far. So let's port to there. It's all the way over here in Faybreak. I got some partial stuff over here that I'm doing, and then I have one that's pretty much completely finished. So I'll show you guys the fully finished one. As you can see it right there in the back. Pretty big. Probably can do it all in one in this base if you want. I have most of the stuff that I can do there. Just the ore mining sites too are just so big that I don't have any there. Let's go down this big long bridge that I've created here. Thought it was really cool the way I did this because I could, like, the little islands that are out there, that I didn't have to really break down trees, so you kind of get the aesthetic from the tree still being in. And then there's like an island right here in the middle that I didn't have to break any trees down on. So of course you got your guild chest, you know, you can put it with the little plants. I mean, they keep snagging the berries off, so you can't really tell it's planted there, but little outside sitting areas and things like that. And then, you know, you have some crops growing and things like that that I've stacked. Electric stuff back there, a little fishing spot. Then we'll take a tour on the inside. And we have, so to the right, we have another little bathhouse for them that I built. And then beside that, we have like a little prayer spot that I did. And I don't know why it was, but off the top of my head, I thought of Jiraiya. So I kind of made a little plot there for Jiraiya. And the tree is actually growing through my floor. So I kind of left it there because I thought it looked pretty cool. So I don't have any pals taking trees down. And of course, some little seats and things like that. Then I thought, like I said, I thought it was really cool how I did my skill for a tree, so I kind of did it again over here. But this time I added the Japanese lanterns. with the glass on the outside. I thought that looked really cool there. And then we have a fountain over here, you know, as an entrance area. Pretty awesome. Another little piano dining area right there. We go down here on the back. We have like a little kitchen. Nothing crazy. And then Kativa, you know, you can order some more stuff from Kativa back here. Another little eating area. And then we go up to the next floor. And we have kind of like, I think one of the coolest spots here. It's like a, I don't know, warehouse production type style thing. So we got our assembly lines, and I did these with like on and off switches to make the assembly lines move. And then of course, go back here, we got some mining spots and things like that. You know, wear safety equipment, very hot. So then we move on to the next floor, and we have just a kind of a simple library. Nothing crazy about this one. You know, you use these as your storage, and you kind of move them. If you slide them, you can move them together more. Otherwise, they would stick too far apart. So if you slide them, it looks kind of like it's a big bookshelf kind of intertwined. And then the next floor, I believe, is medicine production. So kind of like a little mini laboratory type deal. I did the, on the walls, medical machines. I don't know if anybody gets that, but it's from Dragon Ball Z. Like when they went to Namek and, you know, Vegeta and Goku were in the medical machines to recover and things like that. I thought that was pretty cool. Little PAL surgery table. And then for the next spot is just a little chill area. Nothing crazy. It's just right before the bedroom, so I decided to do like a little living room area. And then we have the bedroom area. The very, very tippy top. And then a little restroom, things like that. I just like the area a lot. I feel like this was cool. Definitely since I was able to keep a lot of the trees here. And you know, you got like the sun in the back. I think this area is pretty cool. I think the only other area that's probably cooler looking on Faybreak is like the purple tree area. That's probably what I'll do, like a big build next time. Oh yeah, that's pretty much it. This is all my builds that I've done. I mean, I've done a lot more, but these are some of the better ones that I've done. And I figured I'd just show them off right before the 1.0 release, because I feel like there's going to be a lot of different building materials and things I'll be able to do stuff with on the next one. So you guys comment, like, follow, all that good stuff if you liked any of these. I'll have more consistent Palworld videos coming out from here on. Definitely because the full release of the game. I stream on Twitch, Kick, and I stream on TikTok as well. Bucky B Gaming. I appreciate you guys. You guys have a good one. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and stay tuned for a lot more Palworld builds.